Joining us now in Studio B is ESPN sideline reporter for tomorrow's game between Cal and BYU. His name is Mark Morgan, making his debut here in Studio B. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thanks. I'm so glad to be here. And my debut in Provo, by the way, too.
Welcome to Provo.
Okay.
And 2 words for the Salt Lake City, Provo area: no humidity. No, it's awesome. I live in New York. I live in New York City, right?
Okay.
I've had like 30+ days of 90+. It's like a blast furnace, right? So this is a nice break.
Welcome.
Dry air. We're digging it.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Yeah, 78 degrees, no humidity.
And the optimism, it's off the chain. You, my friend, are usually the pessimist, right? Are you? Is he the Debbie? Oh, I've done some research, right? Now, Spencer, he's the Debbie Downer, right? And all of a sudden, is it blue goggles time yet?
Oh, yeah.
Look at this.
Is it?
Yeah, Mark, you know your stuff.
I'm just saying. I prepped a little bit. So
yeah, you prepped a lot of it.
There's excitement in the air here, right?
Yeah, and I think it's somewhat merited. Granted, it was one game, it's the opener and whatnot, but the way BYU played last year, and then the way they played in that single game, I think there's reason for optimism. How do you see it with BYU?
I think definitely there is, especially really on both sides of the ball, right? The defense, the way they played against Khalil Tate was impressive, and then they were able to kind of run the football too. And your quarterback situation, unlike Cal's, as you've talked about on the show all week long, is not unsettled, right? And the offense looks like it has chemistry already. And as you guys mentioned many times, when you have a new offensive coordinator, that's not always what happens. It takes a while to gel. And the chemistry, and I think one of the things, from what I understand, that's apparently helped, and I'm sure you guys have discussed this a lot, is in the fall practice going 11 on 11 so much, right? You know, bringing the chains, time on the clock, down in distance. Let's get the reps in instead of all that individual stuff with units. And I think that has helped as far as the chemistry with the offense. But, you know, there should be optimism. Now, you guys tell me what I should expect at the stadium. Because, again, first time ever to Provo, first time to the stadium. It's a whiteout, right?
Yes.
So tell me, so it definitely. So I'm going to spend most of the time on the sideline like this. Is that
could be? Yeah.
Okay.
I would get a nap too because it's an 8:20 kick time, right?
Are you doing an Eastern time zone thing on me? Or did you know I was a nap guy? Because I am.
We did research too, Mark.
Well, okay, all right. The other research I did, as I just kind of go off, you guys both, I'm told, do tremendous impressions. Is that correct?
It's debatable.
Okay. Now, Spencer, you do one of my favorites, and I know it's not basketball season. You do my good friend Bill Walton.
Okay.
Is that correct? Can you do a little Bill? But you got to set it up. Any good impersonation has to be set up, right?
I'll set it up.
Jeremy, you set it up.
Bill, I'd like your thoughts on. I know you love Berkeley. It's actually Berkeley,
Yes,
Bill, but
yes.
you love Berkeley. So what do you think is the number one matchup between BYU and Cal?
The last time BYU played Cal Berkeley, Christian Stewart threw for 717 yards. It was unbelievable. I left the stadium on a natural high, and that's hard to do coming out of Berkeley.
There you go. That's nicely done. That was as advertised. I like. Yeah, you got the whole thing going there.
Yeah.
Now, do you do any?
Let's not
do
worry.
you do some?
He does Ty Detmer. If you know Ty Detmer.
See, I don't know as much about Ty as I do.
Ty was just a good Texas. You know, we didn't play our game last year. Too many quarterbacks got hurt, and unfortunately, I got fired. But I'm a millionaire, and I own a ranch in Austin, so that's fine for me.
And I'm guessing he is fond of that impersonation. That's what I'm guessing.
He actually was okay with it.
Was
we
he?
actually did a thing with the BYU players where we were behind like a curtain, and then I would say something, or he would say something. They'd have to guess that was Ty or not. And I got some guys.
Did you?
I got Squally Canada.
All right.
Squally's like, that's Ty. Nope.
Unlike the Arizona defense, I got Squally Canada.
So this show's a huge deal, by the way, and I'm expecting. Yes, it is.
This is news to us.
And I'm expecting from the moment I leave the studio on campus today, then tomorrow, to be constantly stopped by fans going, "Hey, saw you on BYU."
If you're not, don't tell us.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh no, you're gonna know. No, you're gonna know.
Yeah.
By the way, you two guys, you've been doing this like 5 years, right?
5 years?
Yeah. You guys are really young, right?
Yes.
People think we're
okay.
students sometimes, Mark.
Dude,
do you think we're students?
Dude, do you have a driver's license?
Yes.
No. I mean, how do you get to work?
Started shaving.
No offense. I've got.
My mom drives me, Mark.
Okay, I've got.
And then I go to the mall after.
Do you?
Yeah.
I have Rush concert T-shirts older than you. Now you don't know who Rush is. I had to get a Rush.
Tom Sawyer's one of my
Rush.
favorite songs. Come on.
Go back a little bit. Go back before that record. Listen to the Permanent Ways record. Listen to the 70s. I had to get a Rush reference.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I heard that was a thing, you guys. But you're really good at what you do. But you do look a little youthful.
I think this is a good thing for us, though.
no, it is.
Like in 5 or 10 years, this is going to be an even better thing.
The 5-year internship has been amazing.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I can't wait to get paid for this. That'll be great when that day happens. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about Cal and BYU.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's fantastic. We love it. Trust me, we can talk about us all day. Let's talk about the matchup and you. So, what are you watching tomorrow? What are some of the storylines you are intrigued by?
Well, the one thing that I try to do as a sideline reporter, in addition to injury updates, try to take the viewers down on the field. What am I seeing? What are the teams saying to each other, the players and the coaches, and all that energy on the field is a lot of the human interest aspects of this. And again, with your viewing audience and your listeners, they know, BYU Nation, how Squally Canada got his nickname and those type things. But I think the broad audience doesn't know that. And I'm going to try to bring some of those things out. Your quarterback, apparently a trivia nerd who loves Jeopardy, and one of his goals is to be on a trivia show. So I need to find out between now and then what his favorite topics are. Have you ever asked him questions to kind of befuddle him?
No, we haven't broached this. So
okay.
I'm excited to hear from you on the broadcast.
So yeah, in addition to the football things, I try to humanize, and not just BYU, obviously Cal too. Patrick Laird, their outstanding running back, had a great summer reading program where over 3,600 kids signed up to read X number of books and then get tickets to Cal's opener last week. So there are a lot of nice human interest stories on both sides of the ball that we're kind of focusing on. We're going to talk to players, in fact, later on today.
And when Laird scores a touchdown, and perhaps we'll see it tomorrow night, he opens up like a book.
That's where it came from, my friend, right? He's an avid reader. He did that last year, and then he just took it another step. And he said, I think originally if 100, 200, 300 kids signed up, he would feel great about it. And it was close to 4,000 kids signed up. So just a lot of off-the-field stories that we're going to kind of focus on, too, which we always try to bring to the audience.
Longtime Rush fan.
There you go.
BYU Sports Nation historian and ESPN sideline reporter. Mark Morgan with us.
It is. It's the dry heat. I love the dry heat. I'm a fan. And I understand that you don't get brutal snowstorms. It doesn't get brutally cold.
We get some snow, though, unfortunately.
Do you? Well, yeah. But not, I can't leave my house snow, right?
Yeah, it's not nor'easter.
It's not the movie 2012 or something, right?
Right, yeah. In the East, we get, not in New York City, but, Boston, Connecticut. Those places get hammered.
It's intense.
Whenever you retire at some point in the future, go to Phoenix, dude. You'll love it, man.
No, I don't want to live anywhere where in June, much less July or September, you can take a potato, put it in aluminum foil, and put it on the driveway, come back, less than 5 minutes later, it's ready to eat. That's not where I want to be. You're trying to get me to migrate to Florida or Phoenix. I see what you're doing, Alex.
Florida's too humid. Come on. Right?
Yeah, it is.
Well, if you like the humidity.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's this interesting juxtaposition. ESPN's Football Power Index gives BYU a 29.1% chance of beating Cal. And I know a lot of that's based on what BYU did last year and what they bring back. And it's all statistic. However, the experts in the desert, speaking of the desert, are now calling for BYU as a field goal favorite. So how do you see this game playing out between the two teams?
If you look at the way both teams played last week, and then Cal was +4 in turnovers, right? That's really why they won that football game. Their offense, let's not say it was anemic, but it wasn't good. And again, we keep going back to 3 quarterbacks. You guys talked about it on the show. How do you get any consistent performance by shuttling 3 dudes in and out? It's one thing for Clemson and Alabama to have 2 stellar guys, right? That they're trying to kind
Nick
of
about that.
And they're right, exactly. And we're trying to and they're trying to figure that out. But it's another thing to have 3 guys. And again, as you guys have mentioned, I think Justin Wilcox will wait until game time to say who his starter is, and then we'll see. Hopefully, we'll be able to find out if he's going to shuttle all 3 guys in and out and have that on the air early on. But again, I think if you look at the way the two teams played last week, home field advantage, I think BYU probably has to be a favorite. Now, I know you're big on the point spread thing, right? Were you going to go was he going to go 17 plus? Is that what you
wasn't? But
no.
You did earlier and then dialed it back. Is that
joked,
what you?
17 plus is my thing, but I went.
You mean every game 17 plus one way or the other is your thing?
No, I'm not that guy.
Okay,
but kind of. 10. I think BYU by 10. I think BYU will establish the run, and it will be hard for Cal to do that. In this matchup too, it's interesting because. Are we undervaluing Cal's defense? We're kind of looking at North Carolina and going, okay, there were 3-9, 13 players suspended.
Right.
But maybe Cal's defense is really good.
Maybe they are. Cameron Good in a walking boot, though, after the game. I think his status, as we speak, has still been unannounced, and I don't think he's going to play probably. So I think a lot of that was probably North Carolina's ineptitude, right? But again, from what I understand, and you guys I'm sure have discussed this too, the offensive line of BYU was really impressive in last week's game, right? And that is huge. If you can run the football, almost everything else can take care of itself. And when you talk about being able to run the football with that offensive line that played so well last week, with Squally Canada, obviously, and then the defense that was so disruptive in the backfield with Khalil Tate, that's a formula for success. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole point spread thing, but you would think that it would make sense that BYU was a favorite.
Yeah, BYU rushes for 150 plus in the Kalani Sitake era. I think it's like an 85 or 90% chance they win the game. And so if that can play out tomorrow, I really like BYU's chances. Now, I do want to ask you this, Mark, before you go.
Sure.
Do you have a Twitter handle?
I do. At Mark Morgan 34. Mark Morgan, one word. And the 34, as I tell everyone, is the number of points I average per game in high school basketball.
Oh, nice.
Flash your age.
Actually, that's not. It was my number in high school.
Okay. Okay. Mark Morgan 34.
Mark Morgan 34. And I'm gonna try to put the show on my Twitter as soon as we're done here. Give you guys a nice little plug. And I'm going to do a plug of my own right now, if you don't mind. I host a show every Saturday night. Obviously, I'm not doing it here because I'm with you guys and doing the game tomorrow night. But ESPNU radio called College Football Overtime, 12 midnight to 3 a.m., Sirius, Channel 84. And we're hoping BYU gets in that top 25 so we can focus more on them too, because we cover college football landscape. Players call in. Last year, Saquon Barkley called in. Lincoln Riley of Oklahoma called in a couple times. So we have player interviews, analysis, and everything.
Very cool.
On ESPNU radio on Sirius.
Great
XM.
stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff. We'll be listening. Follow him at Mark Morgan 34. If you don't, bombard him on campus, bombard his Twitter, BYU Sports.
Oh, no,
Nation.
it's coming because this show's a thing. I know you guys love to kind of downplay it, but it's a thing. But again, Jerem, I still am not sure. You've got to show me some ID, bro. I just don't. I don't see this whole I'm 20-something thing. I don't see that.
He does the top button up, so he's trying to.
Oh, yeah. Is that a thing? Does he always
That's
do
his
that?
thing. The top button.
When I got carded for sparklers, I knew I looked young.
Nice. Has he used that before? I like that's good material. I like that.
No, that really happened. I'm not kidding. I guess everyone gets carded for fireworks.
Wait. You got sparklers, and the person looked at you and said, "Do you have ID?"
Yeah,
that is sweet, man.
That happened.
Way to go.
Mark, thanks. You're the most prepared guest we've ever had in the history of the show, and I'm not kidding.
I don't think Trevor Maddox will appreciate that,
Yeah.
but guys, it's been a real pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks a lot.
We'll see
You got it. Yeah.